Because I mentioned the Sixers, Kevin. So Embiid has that chip on his shoulder with the MVP voting. James Harden made a commitment to get in shape in the offseason. What's the ceiling for this team this upcoming season?
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Anything less than a championship is unacceptable for us, and we know it. We've done the work, and we felt the pain. And sometimes it takes those losses, it takes those letdowns to fuel you with the passion that you need to take on the next season to accomplish the goal at hand.
So the first game was against the Los Angeles Lakers on December 9th, where we won 133-122. Now this occurred in overtime, a long game, but this is what I would call the melting game, the D'Anthony melting game. Ball job, 33 points. And 7 steals on high efficiency on the floor, where he, played voraciously on both sides of the actual court, offensively and defensively, and just overall hit clutch shots. This was his coming out party if he had not done so already earlier in the season. Other takeaways: Embiid versus AD. Embiid torched Anthony Davis all night until the end. Unfortunately, the actual question would be, has Embiid officially passed Anthony as the better big man of the two? It's very interesting, or just like ironic, how time passed and now Embiid is no longer considered the injury-prone superstar big man in the league compared to AD, who is designated the actual name now. Obviously, if you remember, we almost lost this game on some dumb-ish, like being up by 16 points in the fourth. Thank God that AD missed those free throws at the end. Turnovers on inbound passes, which for some reason we still cannot do. Obviously, we would get our ish together during the overtime period, but imagine if we lost this game, this might have actually sparked a losing streak. This streak may not have even occurred to begin with. Amazing how basketball, or just sports overall, works. So the second game on the docket was against the the Charlotte Hornets on December 11th, where we won 131-113. Embiid led the way with a 53-piece point special. Harrell brought the energy off of the bench with actual boards and putbacks. Harden assisting the game overall. This one was a little bit interesting because there was no LaMelo Ball on the opposite side, so the Sixers had an easy time to defend and guard and just play. Not the best test overall, but you have to win the games that are in front of you. The next game against the Beam team, the Sacramento Kings, on December 13th. This is game 3, where we won 123-103. What can I say? Harden. Back to cooking balls with 21 points and 15 assists. This was third or fourth game back, and it definitely showed. Now, this was one of the actual first tests on this homestand, as the Kings have been playing relatively well lately, but apparently not as good to beat the 76ers, because these Bulls got DICKED. This was a pure offensive showing, where the team killed the Kings. I like those double Ks. And had the game bagged before the first half was even over. An offensive juggernaut performance. The fourth win was against the Golden State Warriors on December 16th, where we won 118-106. There was no Draymond in the game, no Steph Curry, so take that for what you will. The game did start off shaky, not going to lie. Defensively, DiVincenzo, with his homecoming game, was firing threes on all cylinders, but the defense eventually, capped him and just settled down. We didn't have Tobias in the lineup, and it definitely showed defensively, and that's probably why the Warriors was able just to hit everything that they wanted the first two quarters. The squad kept it close until the actual end. I think we broke away in the fourth, but overall, just another chemistry game for the Embiid and Harden duo. It kind of felt like they were sleepwalking for most of the game and put it into high gear when it really mattered. Obviously, we would want them to, start off the game just putting in work, giving a damn, but it's all good. You take the dub, and you obviously know that this is a game of stamina. The next game on the list was against the Raptors on December 19th, where we won, obviously, 104-101. A closer game than I thought it would be, or that I would have liked it to be overall. We always know that the actual Raptors are going to give us trouble for whatever reason. They aren't really playing that well this year. They're like, 2-3 games below 500. But of course, when they play the Sixers, they always become a championship conglomerate. Now, overall, I would call this the Tobias Harris game, the Crumble Cookies game, the Toby Time game. Man said it himself that he is a sharp shooter. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. He had 2 clutch threes at the end of the game. Props to him. He has adapted his play style and has done everything that we fans and coaching staff and probably his team has been asking him to actually do. That 4-point play should have counted, and I need the NBA to give us some, restitution. Overall, during this game, the team actually really played ugly, missing shots with a lot of turnovers, but I'm still impressed that they kept fighting overall. Now, these are the actual type of games that historically this team loses, us being up, allowing a team just to stay close. That opponent eventually takes the lead and the Sixers fold, but that's not what happened this game. They took the lead and we didn't get in our bag. We didn't falter. That's a sign of a team that can go far in the playoffs. Good sign, good sign, good sign, good sign. The next dub was against the Detroit Pistons on December 21st, where we won 113-93. A defensive-minded game plan overall. We limited Detroit shots, caused 22 turnovers. This was a spread the wealth offensively type game. We had 6 players in double digits, which is a good thing just because we're not putting all of the offensive burden on our two superstars. Now, obviously, they can do it because they're, Joel Embiid and James Harden, but it's a good joint just to have, multiple options. And if anything, having, multiple players engaged. And the final game of the homestand was against the Los Angeles Clippers, which happened yesterday, December 23rd, where we won 119-114. Now, let me tell you, this was the comeback game of the ages. Bulls was down by 20 points, and we fought all the way back to win a game. The Sixers actually came back from a deficit, not 10 points, not 15 points, not 19 points, 20 points. The Sixers are making comebacks now against good teams. I would say that the defensive effort allowed them to actually come back. That, along with the bench play mixed with James Harden in the third quarter. Harden officially ended the game with 21 assists and had a 21 assist triple-double as a whole, which is tied for the most assists in franchise history during a game. I think he's tied with Mo Cheeks and Wilt the Stilt Chamberlain. And this is, in year 2 of his tenure here. Year 2, James Harden is already dropping franchise high in assists. Hopefully this game here is a marker in the season. There are always games within a 81-82 game year where you can look back and say, yeah, this is where the team started to play well and change their fortunes. This is that game. I would say that the Laker game is as well, because if we would have lost that game, I'm pretty sure the season would have been done. Okay, so major takeaways from the homestand. Embiid is back in MVP form. Clearly, during the 7 games, he dropped 35.7 points, which leads the NBA. Also had 10.3 rebounds while shooting 63.9% true shooting. Harden is back as well. They are both getting in a groove. Harden 20.6 points during the 7-game span, chipping in 6.4 rebounds and 12.7 assists. That is inhuman. Overall, Coach Glenn Doc Rivers has been coaching his butt off, saving his job in the process. This man is not getting fired. No time soon. And giving the bench minutes, especially the Melton and Milton, the shake and bake duo. And, it must be said that that time that Tyrese Joel and Harden was injured was a blessing in disguise, because it has allowed these players to essentially get out of their actual shells, get off the bench and play games. Thank God Shake has had a re-emergence, just because now we have more pieces to play with offensively. Melton has maybe, honestly, in my opinion, made the case that he should be starting over PJ. That's just me, but we can talk about that later down the line. And also, just it seems like the team has started to like give a damn, like actually putting in work during these games, not letting the monotony of a long NBA schedule get to them. A lot of those games they should have lost, or they could have just phoned in the last 7 games, but no, they said we are going to get these dubs and have some momentum going into the rest of the season. But I will say though, during these 7 games, the things that I feel as though they need to work on would be rebounding. It's crazy how like we're like in the bottom third of that statistical category, which isn't going to be good, come playoff time. So yeah, that's about it. The Sixers win 7 straight games. I'm not going to act like this is, the biggest thing in the world, as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 7 opponents were under 500, but wins are wins. I'm going to take a winning streak any day of the week and twice on Sundays. The next few games, pretty easy schedule per se. We got the Knicks on Christmas, and then some other bum team. It's the Wizards, and then we have like a few good games. I believe 2 of them is against the Pelicans. So we'll see the type of metal that the Sixers have. But let me know what you think of the squad as a whole. Are we officially back in this thing? Let me know in the comment section. How confident are you in the Sixers moving forward? I want to thank everybody for pulling up and listening to A Brother Think. Like, comment, share, subscribe with Sixers Fiend if you feel so inclined. As always, and Bulls are mad because the process worked. My name is Kain, and I will see you next time. Happy holidays, everybody. Peace.